Okay, I admit it. I was wrong about Knockout City. When the game was first revealed during a Nintendo Direct presentation earlier this year, it didn't make a great first impression. I immediately wrote it off as a multiplayer game that seemed doomed to die a few months after launch. Comparisons were made to Rocket Arena, another EA original that came and went in the blink of an eye. Now that I've actually had the opportunity to go hands-on with the game, however, I'm actually really surprised with how much I enjoyed it. I'm not sure if Knockout City will stick around, but I sure hope it does. Knockout City is a team-based game centered around dodgeball, or dodgebrawl as developer Velan Studios calls it. If you've played dodgeball before, then you know the basics here. Hit the other team with balls and don't get hit yourself. The first team to reach a certain number of eliminations wins. There are twists to this formula in Knockout City like special balls and unique game modes, but for the most part, it's just dodgeball. Now, video games are no stranger to sports. Everything from table tennis to car soccer has had its time in the spotlight, but I walked away from Knockout City with one question: why hasn't there been a big dodgeball game until now? I mean, no disrespect to the 2002 classic Monsters, Inc. Scream Arena, but there hasn't been a game that capitalizes on the pleasure of throwing things at other people in the way Knockout City does. The premise is simple, and Knockout City wonderfully executes the idea. There are two main actions in Knockout City: throwing and catching. You can lightly toss a ball at another player, but it's harder for them to catch it if you charge your throw before releasing it. Catching requires precise timing, and there's a punishable cooldown on the catch, so you can't just spam it. Throwing and catching a ball sounds simple on paper, but in practice, it's super fun. You can get trapped in really intense games of catch against an opposing player, tossing the ball back and forth as the catching window shrinks tighter and tighter. These little duels are the absolute highlight of Knockout City, and you'll breathe a sigh of relief once you finally manage to knock out someone who keeps catching what you throw at them. Timing isn't everything. It's pretty easy to pick up on the correct timing to catch an incoming ball after an hour or two of play. Learning to catch is only the first step toward getting good, however. Faking out your opponent, mixing up your strategies, and overwhelming enemies with your teammates are the keys to success in Knockout City, and this is where the game really begins to shine. You can perform different types of throws and either lob or curve the ball, and once you get good enough, you can make it look like you're going to throw a certain type of way and then choose another strategy once you bait out your opponent's catch.